Go.
So we're rounding up the competitive environment. In the previous class, I said today we're going to discuss about how a small business might be able to survive in an environment that is competitive. That means when you're talking about an environment that is competitive, you're talking about an environment that is dominated by large businesses. So how will a small business survive in such environments? The first thing a business could do, or a small business could do, is to develop a niche. And when we talk about a niche, we're talking about a market for a specific group of customers. So most of the time, large businesses, they are so occupied. They don't have time for certain segments within the market. So those segments that they don't have time for, a small business should leverage on that. Or for example, maybe a company produces goods, or it does not produce goods for maybe teenagers or children, because they don't have time to do that. They are occupied, they are busy producing for adults and the old people. So a small business might seize that opportunity to produce those goods that are missing. So by producing that, a small business may be able to survive. Does it make sense or not?
Yes.
Survival of a small business. A small business can as well survive in a large market, or in a market that is competitive, by finding out what is missing in that market. So what is missing might be a certain segment in that market. By providing what is missing in that market, it means you have targeted a niche. So that might make you to survive in that competitive market. That's the first one. I think it's clear.
Yes.
Is it clear, please?
Yes.
The second one is flexibility. A small business might be quick in response when it comes to dealing with customers. But for large businesses, they have large numbers of customers. They have large numbers of branches. They cannot adapt to certain changes because they won't change because of small group of customers. Small businesses, because they have small group of customers, they might adapt. But for large businesses, they have countless of customers. So because of few customers, they have to change their operations, their practices. No, they won't do that. So a small business has the possibility, the ability to adapt to different customer changes or things at any point in time. And that might allow the small businesses to survive in a large competitive environment. Do you understand flexibility here? It's just about how you are able to adapt swiftly when it comes to demand or increasing demand of customers. Small businesses have the ability to do that. Large businesses, they are structured. They are too big to start thinking small. Do you understand? So that is flexibility. Do we understand flexibility here?
Yeah.
The third one, personal services. Small businesses, they know their customers and their customers know them. Yes or no? So it is easier for them to deal with customers one-on-one, unlike a large business. Just like when you talk about Aruban and the supermarket in your own area. When you go to the supermarket in your area, you could as well call the name of the owner of the supermarket. But when you go to Aruban, you only meet the employees. You don't know the owner. Do you get the point here? So you can deal with small businesses, you can have contact, relationship with them, friendship relationship with them. But for large businesses, it's not possible because you don't even know the owners. And there are countless of customers that come in and out every day. So you're not even known in the market. Do we understand? So for a small business, because they can deal one-on-one with customers, it might keep their relationship intact. And that might make them to have customers stay with them, loyal to them. Do we understand the third point here, personal services? Personal services is difficult when it comes to large businesses, but for a small business, it is always possible. So as a result of that, a small business might be able to survive. Do we get it, please? The next one is lower wages. For small businesses, they have few numbers of employees, and mostly they pay legal minimum wage. The expectation is not always high with small businesses. So when you are working with a small business, you have it in your mind that you're not expected to get a high wage from them. So these few wages that are being kept by the small businesses might allow them to expand and compete with large businesses. Get the point here? Small businesses, most of their employees are not part of the trade union, which means they don't have that power to negotiate for high salary or high wages. As a result of that, small businesses might be able to keep a lot of money, save a lot of money from the wages they are supposed to pay to employees. That allows them to have more money to them and more revenue to them, which might allow them to expand their business. And the expansion means they'll be able to compete with a large business in that competitive environment. Do you understand the point here about lower wages here? Small businesses pay low wages, and as a result of that, it might increase their profit. Increasing their profit means they might retain the profit and put it back into the business. And that brings about expansion. And if they're able to expand, they'll be able to compete with the large businesses in the competitive environment. And the last one is innovation. Innovation simply means coming up with new idea, new product, new service. Small businesses, because of their size, they are under pressure to always come up with new products. Because if they cannot, they're going to lose out on customers. So for them to keep their existing customers or attract potential customers, they have to constantly come up with new products. So that makes customers to get, stay with them. So here I got. Although the cost of research and development is high, but small businesses are always on pressure to be innovative, as this allows them to keep their existing customers and may as well attract potential customers. In a nutshell, small businesses may take risk, low one, as there is no expectation on them to be extraordinary. They are not expected to do something huge. So whatever risk they take, it's always going to be a low risk. So there's no pressure on them. Whatever they might fail, nobody cares if a small business fails. But when a large business fails, all eyes are on them. Do you understand? So because there's no pressure on them for failure, they might as well do something huge. When the pressure is not on you, like you are inferior, nobody cares about what you do. Before they know it, you are gone. So this might happen with small businesses, and that might allow them to survive in the competitive environment. So that ends business, and thank you.